Shane McDonald and Rowan Saws are the officials. And the crowd roars as the National Panasonic Cup final for 1987 gets underway. The Demons from left to right. Batterston couldn't work a clear path. And umpire Saws steps in to ball it up.
Batterston is one who will enjoy the conditions tonight. He's not very quick, but he's got the rest. He's got courage and strength and desire. Williams, kick is smothered. Bret Bailey, tough as they come. Stretch down towards the half-forward line. Peter Giles and Sean Wight fly for it. It's punched away over the line out of bounds. Pursuing it was Nobby Clark, and it'll be thrown in with Melbourne in attack.
Demons coming off that very hard match at Carrara on Sunday, but the Bombers played at this ground on Saturday and were done like a dinner by Carlton. And which team would have suffered physically more from those games, it's a little bit hard to say. Certainly the Bombers have had one more day's rest, but this big ground can be so taxing on the legs. Gary Lyon.
Steins to Lyon. Peter Giles waits for it underneath. A diving mark is well done by the Demons as Giles was standing there, and it's Dean, the opportunist. He came in, slid along the turf just a little, and Warren Dean, the West Australian, has got the first chance of the night to score. Well, Steins, the Irishman, was the man who got that ball downfield. Dean kicks for goal. Wobbly looking one, well off direction, through for one behind. And I guess that'll be pretty hard to keep online tonight, Kevin.
Well, that would have been a great start then for Melbourne if Warren Dean had to put that through. They just need a quick goal to give them the confidence of playing in this grand final, their first since 1971.
Gary Folds recently celebrated his 250th day game. Danaher missed a mark that he should have taken. But the Bombers managed to jam it up. Already it looks a bit slippery, and there's Folds again, well brought down by Sparks. And eventually it's taken over the line. Demons deep in attack. And a surprising mistake by the Bomber skipper.
And Tony Campbell's got probably the biggest job on the ground to look after Terry Danaher. Salmon gets it down once again. Baker, the quick man, over the head of Folds, and the chance was there for Melbourne. Spark, a kick off the ground by Dean, and it was touched through. How close it was.
Well, it should have been a goal, shouldn't it? Sparks had a golden opportunity, Goalden, and there he is fumbling it.
His leg was just out.
Well, he's only a young kid up from the under-19 Sparks, so it was a big moment for him then.
Sprinter, very good mark. Perhaps a little fortunate to be playing. He had to face the tribunal after Sunday's game at Carrara, but he was acquitted. There was some doubt, I felt, about the contact he made with Edmund. He arrived just after Edmund flew for a mark. Lovely long spiral punt to full forward. Salmon there with the spoil. And Baker gets Essendon out of trouble. Centering pass, which the old timers would squirm about, but good enough. Neil Clark now. And Melbourne putting lots of pressure on, forcing the errors, winning the free kick, which will be taken by Stretch on the half-forward flank.
That was a good tackle by Wight. Downfield it goes, and Salmon goes up and never looked like it. Bailey gets it taken away from him. All coming really out was Dean looking for a free kick. Hurd then tackles a Melbourne player and looks for a free kick. It's not on. It'll be bounced, and Melbourne still doing all the attacking.
45 metres from the Demons' goal. Steins using the body well against Salmon. Baker again, second kick, out to space on the wing. Yates is 8 for Melbourne. 15 is Izard, and Yates with height wins it in the Melbourne direction, but taken away for the Bombers by Francis. Danaher now up in attack after being at centre half back just a moment ago. Van der Haar within range. It's a good kick. Oh, magnificent kick that really was. To even hit the post wasn't a bad effort, Kev.
No, a magnificent kick always, Paul Van der Haar, and I think it's interesting to see Terry Danaher running all over the ground, because when he runs all over the ground, he really does inspire the Essendon team, and obviously tonight that's his intentions.
Alan Johnson, out it goes to Stretch, playing a dominant role already. Sends up beautiful 65-metre one downfield. Kevin Walsh battles with Giles and wins it. Runs into more trouble. Out to Duckworth. Duckworth cleverly, but too long for Williams. An opportunity now for Steins. Hand pass goes across, look out Batterston. Batterston downfield, he's flattened. Still the Demons in the van. And is picked up and driven down by Sparks. Almost taken, picked up by Winton. Winton looks for a hand pass, it's dangerous. Brett Bailey's there. Here comes Winton again. Bailey takes him on. Giles dives at it, looks for a free kick and gets it. And a little lucky was Peter Giles, but Melbourne did all the hard work.
Well, if you put yourself over the top of the ball, Doug, and you play in front, you've always got the opportunity of getting the free, and I would have paid that.
Yes, well, I think your synopsis is right, Kev, but it was ever so light, but I'm all in favour of Peter Giles getting that one.
Kev won a few free kicks like that over the years, over 403 games.
Yeah, 450 of them he won. Peter Giles kicks a good one. Well done. This very, very popular player, one of the big-hearted fellows, who's very important to the young Demons, and a fine goal.
On a night like tonight, Doug, where we've had several showers today out at Waverley, I mean, the umpire is really going to pay the free kick to the player who's going to put himself in over the top of the ball. So on slippery conditions, and we know out at Waverley it does get slippery, if you play in front, if free kicks are going to be paid, you will get them.
Good start by the Demons. Quarter in progress, 6 minutes, and they've got the first goal of the grand final. Bombers into attack though, through Bailey. Stretch, went through his legs. And eventually umpire McDonald says he'll bounce it 50 metres from Essendon's goal. And the Bombers' second sortie forward. The first resulted in a poster. And now the ball just about within scoring range again. And now it's Merritt doing the heavy work against Steins. And another bounce and they'll do it all again. Steins,
who's got a pretty short fuse and pretty tough, up against the real tough man in the game in Roger Merritt. Nice battling football that time by Coop. Out towards centre wing position it goes. Long run, kicked off the ground by Hurd. Oh, and it was missed that time by Grinter, picked up by Baker. Baker caught, still gets his hand pass, out to Salmon. Salmon, wonderful agility for a big fellow. Underneath it, it should have been taken by Francis. A nice spoil, and it's Coop again. Coop boots it out to an open half-forward flank, and Clark misses an awkward one. Here comes Bailey. Bailey gets a hand pass across, and running with it is Dean. Dean will get a left-footer to this one. A very difficult angle. Gets it across and centres it, and it just beats Duckworth over the line.
I think, Doug, we'll see a lot tonight of players dropping easy chest marks, and that's a lesson there, because you've got to keep at your opponent all the time, because under these conditions they will fumble.
8 minutes gone. Demons mounting another attack. Sean Wight, who's lined up in attack. Johnson. Not carrying, but well marked by Wight. The Irishman who tried so hard to lift Melbourne to victory, playing in attack in the last quarter on Sunday. He's played more of his football in defence for Melbourne, but my word, he's got some courage, and he needed all of it then in front of Gary Folds. Alan Johnson, such a welcome addition to the Melbourne lineup, and this will be a very welcome goal. He's driven it through. The Demons get their second, and the underdogs are away to a flying start, leading by 13 points, approaching the 9-minute mark.
Full marks there to Wight, Tim, because as I said before, from ball-ups and close scrimmages, whenever a player kicks the ball out of those packs, you'll always see, and we see there Wight playing in front, that the kick will inevitably flop off the boot and drop short, and there'll be a lot of chest marks taken tonight under those conditions.
Well, he was a controversial player with Sean Wight. Melbourne went across and recruited him from Ireland. Obviously, he'd never played Australian rules before. He's only managed 11 games in 2 years. But we were saying on Sunday, we like the look of him. He's big and strong and tough and got ability. Out wide it comes, and an opportunity for Johnson. Lyon it was over the back. Clark's kick is smothered. Johnson runs into a Francis tackle. The ball is held to him. The umpire doesn't agree, and the free kick goes to Peter Francis.
I think Johnson said Francis had actually taken the ball off him. Plenty of Demons up, but one of them infringing, and it's an Essendon free kick to be taken by Sullivan. Danaher, good lead. And nice delivery, and the skipper is 40 metres out. But it's certainly not a gimme. Second possession to Terry Danaher, dual day premiership captain. Lovely kick off the boot. But just slightly hooked and through for a behind. The Bombers' second minor score. They trail by 12 points after 10 minutes.
Well, young Tony Campbell has got a giant assignment against Terry Danaher. Hughes kicks it out wide, looking for Lyon. Over the back it goes, nicely picked up by Bailey. Bailey down to Giles and Kevin Walsh. Giles will get another free kick. Kevin Walsh went crashing into his back. And Peter Giles, he's not worried about that sort of play. He's as tough as they come. Was recruited from Sandringham originally and has had some very crippling knee injuries. But we tend to bracket Giles and Ick at Melbourne, two fellows who've given their all for so long. Down towards Sean Wight. Nice punch over the back. Chance for Kevin Walsh. Takes it well and then goes to the ground, cleverly out wide to Hurd. Hurd kicks it down towards centre wing and the mark will be taken by Wilson.
Yates now takes the hand pass to half forward. Hasn't placed it well, and a fine mark to Winton. Doing badly at fullback this season for the Bombers. Still a question mark, I suppose, beside his name, but he seems to be getting better this season. Steins, well done by the big fellow. Bailey for Essendon, but now Stretch. Oh, was that a throw or was that a throw? The umpire agrees. And 15 metres as well for the ball being booted away after the whistle.
The exuberance is there from Melbourne, Tim, in the first 10 minutes of this grand final. You can imagine Melbourne, they're pumped up. It's just a matter of whether they can continue the pressure.
Merritt long, Danaher always the target. Almost took it to, well played Francis. Tackled, doesn't cover much distance. Yates is in the van. Danny Hughes comes and Van der Hart dives at it. Down they go. Van der Hart, brilliant pick-up. Scoops and shoots for goal, and brilliantly done. The Flying Dutchman back to his best, and that was a spectacular goal from his second kick for the night.
Yes, I think then, Doug, when that comes back up on screen, Danny Hughes, instead of trying to bend down and pick up the ball, he should have booted it off the ground out towards the boundary.
Must have been touched, or wasn't a goal anyway.
He was lucky.
Side was with Doug. I thought it was home and had been acknowledged by the goal umpire, but perhaps he was indicating touch ball. Now a Melbourne free kick, and so the Demons are out of jail, as the Bombers have 3 behinds from as many scoring shots. Giles and Walsh strong in front, and paid a free kick. Certainly didn't take the mark, and having a good battle with Peter Giles, centre half back and centre half forward. Danaher in the middle, well done Grinter in front. Now Elshaw, good centering kick. Jarrett front position, good grab up from the veteran, and out to Hughes. Van der Haar bearing down, but Melbourne out of trouble. Hughes to half back, and well placed it is too. Coop puts Melbourne into attack, but not much there for the Demons. Duckworth first to it. The battleship back to Walsh. Now Winton. Good running out of defence by Brian Winton for the Bombers, and from just behind the wing he kicks them into attack.
Izzard in front did a tremendous leap. A Melbourne player came reeling out, and the umpires found the free kick. It goes to Spalding, across to Grinter. Grinter's at centre half back. Looks for Bailey. Nice Boyle. Picked up and driven downfield by
Dean
Bailey it is. Dean Bailey to centre half on a lovely leap by Terry Danaher. Well picked up, and Izzard will shoot for goal. And Izzard kicks it and kicks it just off direction again, and they're squandering opportunities. That's 4 behinds the Bombers have kicked, and Melbourne are 2-2.
Well, that's one Izzard should have kicked. Kevin Sheedy's been playing him this year completely on the forward line, doing all the road around that forward line, and his job is just simply to kick goals. That was a bad miss.
Stretch got there and should have held it once he did. So the Demons momentarily out of trouble, but not for long. Dean Bailey again. Salmon forward of centre. Oh, bit of a hospital ball, but Izzard with plenty of courage. Johnson bearing down, and Izzard looking for the 15 metres, but not getting it. Rightly so. For Merritt, well done though by Spalding. Good spoil, and forcing a throw in. in Essendon's forward pocket. The Dons 4 behinds, Melbourne 2-2.
And to date, it's been Spalding's job to look after Roger Merritt, and that's a pretty fearsome assignment too. Steins gets in, Merritt gets it down, Yates has got the chance, kicks it back towards the centre of the ground. Brian Wilson's underneath it, but the tall timber go. Salmon went for it, Wilson could have taken a free and will. Advantage rule is not to be played. Gary Lyon was hoping it would have been, it wasn't. And the free kick goes to Brian Wilson. Wilson drives it downfield, not well done. Oh, badly missed by Essendon, but Walsh will retrieve the situation. Left foots it out to centre wing position. In front, beautifully gathered by Danaher. Terry Danaher short passes across. The mark is taken by Baker. Out it goes wide, kicked off the ground by Wilson. Stretching everything, pushes it downfield. Wide out, and here's Hurd again. From Salmon it was. Hurd then sent it very long, and it's all the Bombers, Roger Merritt, and Merritt's only about 40 to 45 metres out. Number 25, a very feared number is this one, Roger Merritt. Very accomplished player. It'll need to be an excellent kick, because it'll be just about on the 50-metre mark and just behind it that he'll kick it. And with the greasy ball, that's a lot of work. Oh, it's a good kick. That is a beautiful kick. What an accomplished player he is, Kevin.
Well, undoubtedly, Doug, that with Van der Haar down there at full forward and Merritt at centre-half forward, they've got to kick the ball long. I was critical the last time I saw Essendon play against Richmond because they continue to kick short passes. They continue to want to do short handballing. And instead of kicking the ball long and getting it down quickly to their key forwards, they tended to just muck around with the ball out on the flanks. And tonight I feel if they have to really get back to that long kicking game.
So the Dons, after 16 minutes, get their first. And they've been attacking for the last 7 or 8. But Grinter puts Melbourne into attack. Not much there for them on half forward, though. And Duckworth running with it and sprawling. Takes it well. And Essendon starting to find some space. Neil Clark. Well, they certainly are short passing a lot. Elshaw between half-back and centre, but they've covered about 15 metres forward with 2 kicks. Elshaw goes long and Danaher. And the Bombers starting to show superiority in the air. Second mark to the skipper. And a lovely delivery to Baker. Inside 50 metres. He'll kick from about the 50-metre line. Well, Merritt's just done it from that distance. Chance to compare their relative kicking skills. 5th possession to Baker, and a goal will put Essendon in front for the first time. That's no goal, that's nothing. Van der Haar, spoiled by Hughes. Izzard, and a throw in, but Essendon starting to look menacing, doing all the attacking since about the 10-minute mark of the quarter.
And Terry Danaher's really cutting them to pieces. He's going for mark after mark with nobody within a foot of him. There Steins gets it down. Alan Johnson pursues it. Picked up there by Thompson. Peter Francis. Francis left foot, one downfield, and a good spoil there by Hughes as he contests with Paul Van der Haar. It's out of bounds, but Danaher looking the danger already.
Peter Ryan preparing to come on for Melbourne. Very close to quarter time. 18.5 minutes have gone. They're 20-minute quarters through the first half, and then regulation 25 plus time on thereafter. Now a chance for the Bombers. Sullivan. Good kick too to centre there from the pocket. Now Elshaw. And that ball becoming slippery, in fact, off his ankles or boots over the line. So a free kick for out on the full, taken by Grinter. And it becomes a bit of a wet day game now. Duckworth misjudging that hopelessly and in fact giving away a free kick in the process.
And Duckworth is looking after Melbourne's most dangerous forward, the teenager, Gary Lyon. He's on half-back flank as Peter Ryan comes onto the ground. Beautiful kick by Lyon. Salmon beautifully in front. Brilliant roving by Wilson. Out comes Deaner, but didn't look like that. Winton did it well. A great interception by Bailey. Bailey for an open goal is a gem, an absolute gem. And that's the play of the night up to date. And Bret Bailey, who's looked on as a blocker and a stopper, shows wonderful skills, beautiful interception and a magnificent goal.
Yes, we've seen Bailey last week put Mark Williams out of business, and that's magnificent anticipation. That's really going to lift Melbourne. Close to quarter time as the siren sounds, and that is really a team lifting goal by Bret Bailey.
Well, right on quarter time, as you've just heard, the siren has gone, and that couldn't have been more timely. Bailey getting Melbourne's third and giving the Demons a 10-point lead, and that goal coming after Essendon Panasonic Cup final. The Demons in front by 10 points, and after their first flag in 16 years, and Brian Wilson with tremendous determination, but a poor kick puts them into attack. Duckworth, well tackled, but he gets a free kick. That surprises me. I thought Sparks' tackle was clean and from the side, but the umpire, for whatever reason, giving Duckworth the free.
Interesting to see Brian Wilson could not handle that left boot at all at that particular stage. Kick off the ground by Merritt, against 15 to 20 metres. Jarrett, not well done really, gave the opportunity to Izzard. Izzard accidentally tripped, will still take the free kick, and the dangerous little forward. Hand passes badly out to Elshaw, slipped away from him, and it's dropped by Izzard. Down goes Elshaw, tackled by Wilson. Wilson belatedly looks for a free kick, but the umpire says no, and the umpire in Rowan Saws will bounce it. The Bombers in attack.
It's hard to have a passage of play with quick hand passing when the ball's slippery.
65 metres from Essendon's goal. Well done, Wilson, but how do you get out of there? And it's a ball up. The rule book says that if a player takes the punt and tries to beat the field, as it were, but then is grabbed, he still should be given a reasonable time to get rid of the ball, and Wilson was given that then, even though he took it out of the air. Elshaw now puts the Bombers forward for Merritt. Within range, he scored full points from 50 metres in the first term, and he'll be kicking from about exactly that distance in just a moment. Comfortable one, quick kick from Elshaw out of the pack, and Roger Merritt in good position. He has the Bombers' only goal, and he certainly showed he can kick long and straight when he kicked that one. Lovely kick off the boot. Beautiful goal by Merritt. The big fellow concentrates so hard on every aspect of his game. Not many men of his size kick the ball with such authority over such distances, but he's done it beautifully, and the margin is back to 4 points.
It's just amazing just how many goals are kicked from marks, from ball-ups and scrimmages when a quick kick comes out of the pack. Now, a defender has to be right on his forward under those circumstances. Spalding cannot be standing 10 metres away from a player of Merritt because he doesn't know where the ball's going, and Merritt being the forward, he's in the van.
Steins does battle with Salmon. Downfield from Batterston, and Peter Giles goes racing out with Clark. Over the top goes Clark, and Kevin Walsh boots it over the line out of bounds. Just harking back to that goal, to the other quite brilliant thing that Merritt did there was getting so close to the man the mark when he kicked it, and that was the difference. It just squeezed through. He maximised every available metre with big Roger Merritt with that kick. Steins in front, Salmon's going to win it, and Salmon was pushed in the face, a push in the mush, and the free kick will go to big Paul Salmon. Steins was late on the scene and pushed into Salmon, out to Hurd. Hurd gets away, caught by Lyon, went far too long, lucky to get away with it, and punched away from Bailey, picked up again by Bret Bailey this time, and the umpire's whistle has blown a free kick to the Demons. And Bret Bailey, who's really had a wonderful season for Melbourne, this very strong, tenacious and brave player, steadies and kicks it long down towards the pocket, looking for Giles. The leaper is Wight. Giles from behind. The quick man is Dean. Dean hooks it back very well, but straight to Salmon.
He's playing a great game, Salmon. He's winning in the ruck, and he's also falling across that last line of defence. He's going to be hard to pass.
Now has to kick over the mark after going out of the field of play. Doesn't kick over the mark, and just as well for him. In fact, it's quite an interesting one, because ultimately the kick was such a bad one that it virtually went over the mark, even though Salmon wasn't aiming it there.
I think he kicked the ground too, Tim, when he tried that one.
So he's very lucky, really, to get a reprieve. Thompson in front. Grinter. Bad hand pass after doing all the heavy work and doing it well. Elshaw, poor kick. And the ball like a cake of soap. Bombers gaining ground to Merritt on the wing. Izzard Now Danaher, and handling it well, as Doug said. He's the man who's treating it as though it's a dry day, and Izzard, the runner, puts the Bombers into attack. Francis, now Van der Haar, open goal. Put down your glasses. And as Kevin Sheedy said to his players at quarter time, they can peg back those couple of goals easily. Well, they've done it inside 5 minutes, and for the first time in the final, they're in front.
That was perfect football under the conditions. Let's have a look at Izzard there. The hand pass was on to Francis, but before that, there was a knock on, there was a kick off the ground. That's what got the ball moving for Essendon, to enable them to set up there that loose man. And certainly that's the conditions you've got to play under tonight. Kick the ball off the ground, thump the ball along, but keep it going towards goals.
Yes, push it, thrust it, anything to do to
Nothing
keep it
fancy.
moving forward. That's right, Kev. Great play, Salmon again. Wilson tried to intercept it. He's done well as Wilson. Batterston, of course, always playing tough and close to the pack. Comes out with a free kick. Not a good one out there. Bailey goes up strongly, punched away. Look out, Grinter. Cleverly to Batterston. Batterston down the Giles direction. Giles strengths it with Kevin Walsh. Got a big assignment. Picked up there and driven out wide by Coop. Coop to Sparks. Sparks, a good-looking kick, but just missed one behind. Cooper's been a pretty busy player.
Sparks having a second opportunity. He missed once in the first quarter, fumbled in the goal square, and he could possibly have 2 goals. Big occasion for the youngster. Folds to half-back. From behind Lyon, has to go the spoil though for Melbourne. Duckworth, the menacing one, handled the ball well. Free kick to Essendon if they want it, but the umpire rules they'd be penalised if he paid it, so he lets them run on. Well done, Danaher, but well scouted by Jarrett, and kicks most intelligently to 2 Demons, one of whom is Stretch. But Essendon keeping the Demons under pressure now. Stretch to the wing. Bailey cleverly. Lyon, nicely done. Wilson, good tackle by Hurd. Beautiful tackle. And now the Dons. Dean Bailey out. Francis well tackled, holding the ball, and Wilson, who lost the ball in that very strong tackle a moment ago, wins it back with a good one of his own.
It's a super tackle, but certainly Brian Wilson has not got quick hands. He's got a quick boot, and that was a lovely pass to Johnson. He nearly got caught, but he got out with a lovely tackle. Wide out it goes, and Walsh punched when he should have marked. Chance for Dean once again. He'll be tackled by Williams and beats him. Left foots it down towards the pocket. Over the back it goes, and it's Essendon's chance. They've lost it. Batterston got a wonderful opportunity. Hooks it back over his shoulder with a beauty, but just misses. That was Batto, little swarthy Batto, who's been a wonderful little man for Melbourne. Just missed.
So it's all tied up, approaching the 8-minute mark. As Folds again puts it into play. Williams, the scout. Well tackled by Johnson, and Johnson wins the free. The umpire, oh, and that might be 15 metres as he just gives it a little nudge with the boot, but no.
Would have been a hand of 15 metres there, Tim, wouldn't it?
The umpire ruling that he lay on the ball. Lyon, not quite. Wight, dispossessed. And now a ball up. Just 20 metres from Melbourne's goal, and the Demons showing that they're not going to be overrun. Essendon starting the quarter with a rush with 2 quick goals, but Melbourne steadying.
Lyon's got the opponent that if I was Gary Lyon, the one I wouldn't want. The bad man from the west, Bill Duckworth. Nice play, Batterston again as he struggles, and underneath it Lyon hits it out wide towards Sparks. Sparks breaks through very strongly. A left foot snap is across the face of goal and out of bounds. But he's looking a pretty strong player, young Brad Sparks, Kevin.
He certainly is going in hard and attacking the ball. His kicking so far, Doug, has let him down. He's had a couple of opportunities to even score goals, but just then he could have steadied a little bit more, but he's only a boy up from the under-19s, and he'll be feeling the pressure tonight.
Coop just getting boot to ball. Right across the face. Now Williams, this time he breaks the tackle after being penalised a moment ago. Hurd. Now Francis. Johnson very speedy in pursuit. Francis puts the Dons into attack. Izzard, well done. Just out nudged Yates. Nice little merit. Well played, the big fellow. But the delivery not so hot this time, and Bailey with courage running with the flight of it. Hughes, who never lacks that commodity, but not a good kick, and Bomber Thompson at midfield.
Thompson out to an open half-forward flank, Elshaw. Over the top went Bailey, and Elshaw's got the speed. Kicks off the ground, does it pretty well. Jarrett out with Van der Haar. Stretch picks up the loose ball. Short pass out wide to Bailey, who's been an excellent player. In trouble this time. Gets it out wide, and Coop then hooks it down towards centre wing. Salmon again. My word, he's looking good, the big fellow. And that was a splendid running mark.
From the wing. Kicks long to half forward. Good kick too. Merritt and Danaher there. But well taken for the Demons by Spalding. Williams beautifully paddled to Hurd, and back whence it came. To half forward to Danaher. Stretch stole front position nicely. Hughes at the back. Accepts the slippery one. Francis takes the crumb, but a free kick to Ryan for Melbourne. Melbourne not in possession, as I think you saw. And quite rightly, the umpire awarding him a free, plus 15 metres, which brings him to the wing, and he'll put Melbourne into attack. And another one.
And another one. And young Peter Ryan's very angry with Darren Williams and shows a bit of fire. Good on him. Salmon's out there again. From the back, it's picked up nicely by Foles. Foles' kick doesn't cover any territory. Williams goes up. Wilson close to the pack. Good play there by Bailey. Off the ground it goes. Could have been a free kick to the Bombers. Against Yates, and maybe 15 metres against Wilson. Wilson says, I didn't mean it, umpire, but it was well after the whistle had gone, Kev.
Once again, intelligent play, kicking the ball off the ground, and Essendon is starting to play in front on their forward line now.
And they'll have a chance to use the ball on the forward line after this kick. Izard to half forward, just too far for Merritt, and the Demons have the numbers at the back. Well played, Hughes. Bailey. Oh, a lot of pressure. Merritt from behind, Van der Haar from the side. The umpire says that was a little crude, Paul. And Bailey takes the free kick, but he's soaking up the punishment and doing very well for the Demons. Not much doubt about that.
Crude and rude, Tim.
It might appear in our newspapers tomorrow. The photographers were right on the scene. Now Stretch up to the wing. Leap from Lyon. Hasn't really got into it yet. Wilson getting better. Coop, can he get there? Yes, the ball didn't completely cross the line. Well done, Coop. Winton couldn't stop on the dewy surface. Throw in on Melbourne's half-forward flank.
I don't think he wanted to stop, Tim.
Nice football by Wilson and Coop that time, and they gained a good 60 metres for the Demons. And there's Bret Bailey, who took a nasty one there as Van der Haar crawled all and dumped all over the top of it.
Ted Fidge on.
Here comes Kevin Walsh. Pushed it over the line, and he was lucky it didn't go over on the full off his knee, but Bret Bailey, who's been one of the tough and courageous ones from Melbourne, is feeling very sick and sorry for himself there at the moment. Nice leap that time by Sean Wight. Kevin Walsh is tackled well. Bustling Billy fights for it, and he's tackled too. And there's only one decision left for the umpire, is to ball it up once again.
13 minutes gone, second quarter. The Bombers have kicked 2 goals. Melbourne goalless so far in the term. Scores dead level at 22 apiece. Winton, that was dangerous if he really had sunk the boot. Sparks just gaining 5 metres or so for Melbourne, hoping to in fact centre the ball. Thumped the turf after it crossed the line. It didn't quite head off in the right direction.
The Melbourne players should start roving now to Big Salmon, because he's starting to dominate. It's no good roving to your ruckman if they're not winning.
Baker tries to take it away. Bomber Thompson crawls after it. Batterson goes over the top of it. Yes, I was just going to say exactly that, Kev, that he's dominating Salmon the hit-outs now as Bomber Thompson then left foots it out wide, looking for Roger Merritt. Always a good one to look for. Johnson hits it out wide. Elshaw loses the run of it. Brilliantly picked up by Bailey. Sends it downfield, and out comes Danny Hughes to give assistance to Yates. Yates leads Ezard, and that's pretty hard to do. Kicked away by Hughes was good football. Out to centre wing position, and it bounces right on the line there. And Elshaw couldn't keep it in play. It's out of bounds, out to centre wing.
Well, Ian Robertson with something for us from the boundary line, perhaps on Bret Bailey.
Bailey off with ribs, and he has had that problem, Tim, but he may not be able to come back on, which is unfortunate for the Demons.
Ted Fidge puts the Demons into attack. Oh, is that a push in the back? Yes, it is. Giles to take the free on the half-forward flank. Similar one to the one Bailey copped, but not quite as lethal. Giles centering towards full forward. Wight, my word, he's a goer. Courageous effort under pressure. Puts the Demons in front, but not by the margin they might have hoped. They're 5th behind and they lead by 1 point.
I remember many years ago when Ron Barassi was very, very keen to make a centre-half forward out of Peter Giles. Hasn't done too badly against a very good player in Kevin Walsh. Baker now, out to Kevin Walsh. Late on the scene was Lyon. Walsh looks for Terry Danaher, stretches his opponent, and Terry Danaher is too good in the air for them. He's averaged 9.2 marks per match. Out it goes, in front was Steins. Thompson picks it up. Nobody to give it to. Past Patterson goes Van der Haar, pushed, I thought, by Danny Hughes, and the free kick will go to Van der Haar. And it's looking like the Van der Haar of old, the exciting man he is. Down it goes, Bill Duckworth is there, up goes Gwynter with him. Out wide from Yates. Yates bounces it towards Stretch. Awkward, greasy ball, and Stretch stumbles and takes the ball over the line out of bounds, even though he handled it pretty well.
16 minutes gone in the term. Melbourne in front by a point. Johnson, infringed, takes it. Fidge to centre field, awkward bounce. Chance for Neil Clark and Hurd. Now Baker from almost in the centre circle. Not a long kick to half forward. He's wanting to give it a bit more than that. Williams. Dangerous for Danaher and beaten by Ryan. Taking it the wrong way. Hughes out to half back, and my word, he's done well in defence. And that's a beautifully placed kick.
That play of Williams, Tim, as I was saying before, there's not much point in kicking little ones across to players across the ground when you can actually hook the ball. He's a beautiful kick with either foot. He could have hooked that ball back into the centre instead of going across the ground. Now we see it's on the outer side of the ground.
This is not a finesse night. Picked up by Fidge. Back down and puts Melbourne into attack, and running with the flight of the ball, Giles, and very good bump that time by Buckworth against Lyon. And Kevin Walsh says, well done, Billy. Billy doesn't need to be told well done. What a good defender he is. All toughness and roughness, but by G can play football. It's out of bounds, throw it.
And Salmon over the top, the Giant. Hurd. And helped on by Stephen Clark. Merritt. Danaher there as well. And eventually a ball up on Essendon's half-forward line. Close to half-time, 17.5 minutes gone. They're fixed duration quarters in the first half. So under 2.5 minutes to go in the second term, and Melbourne still holding a 1-point lead. Free kick to Batterston at the bottom of all that. Ticky touchwood, but the umpire satisfied it was there, and Batterston takes it from half-back flank. 7 possessions.
And that's what Kate Bartlett's been saying. Get in front and do the hard work and you'll get the free kicks. Francis kicks it out very nicely, looking for Danaher, but didn't work the finesse. Picked up there nicely by Sparks, and Teddy Fidge with it. Sends it down towards that full forward zone. Over the back, the chances there for Duckworth. To Hurd. Back it goes to Duckworth. Long downfield, and Jarrett will do battle there with Francis. Behind the pack, it's kicked out towards centre wing. And a lovely bounce that time for Sparks. A very good shot, short pass to Johnson. Johnson very wide, where Kevin Walsh has got the chance. Sean White, good leap. Well shepherded. Hooks it back for goal. And hooks it too far again. And he's been a very energetic and busy forward, but has kicked it badly.
It's a nice kick there by Johnson up towards White. I just feel that some of the Melbourne small men have got to push up and get right underneath the pack when they've got the big guys down there and White going for the mark, because that time he had to rove the ball himself. He really needs some small men underneath him.
Less than a minute to go in the half. Salmon, fine mark. 15 metres against the Demons. Johnson coming back on the mark, and another 15 brings Salmon to the centre line, and a chance for the Bombers to score in the last 40 seconds of the quarter. Salmon towards Merritt. Well grabbed. He's outside 50 metres and couldn't score from here. Well-placed kick. Van der Haar. Hughes just making the spoil. And the Demons out of trouble to Stretch, who's got some space, but perhaps they can mount an attack in the last 20 seconds. They're into their attacking half. Hurd, oh, that was quite deliberate. But the umpire says to the boundary umpire, throw it in. And I think we might go to half-time with the Demons 2-point leaders.
Roger Merritt proving a huge handful for Earl Spalding. Spalding, a very clever player, but not a real bustler. And there's the siren. And at half-time, Melbourne are leading by 2 points. And I think they'll be pretty pleased with that. 3 goals, 6-2 Melbourne, and 3 goals, 4 to Essendon.
But out on the full. And Salmon takes it just forward of the wing for the Dons.
And the Demons have done particularly well to date against this magnificent Essendon side. They've been a surprise packet, and Steins takes a fine mark. This is the number 2 of the Irishman, Sean Wight, and Steins, and a beautiful kick. What a perfect kick it was to Danny Hughes. Both of them have only played about 3 years of Australian rules football. Nice spoil. Here comes Teddy Fitz. Out to Sparks. Went too long. Another chance for Sparks. A long hand pass is absolutely brilliant. On it goes to Dean. Dean hooks it back and puts it through. And that was just keep pushing it forward. Keep pushing it forward was what they did. And eventually Warren Dean, very, very clever half forward, deceptively quick, casually hooks it through, and here it is.
Great backing up here by the Melbourne team. We see Fidge with that long hand pass, gets it across to Fidge. Ball comes out. Here's a great chance for Dean. Sparks was in there also for Melbourne. It was all numbers together there, and on a night like tonight, that's what John Northey wants to see, numbers around the ball.
And a very decisive goal. The Demons getting the first of the second half. Wilson, who can really help fire them, but as he does, he tried to beat the field. He had 2 opportunities there to get rid of it and just kept on going and trying to do too much. Chris Danaher takes the free. His first kick of the match finds Van der Haar within range, and this could be a very costly error from Wilson. He can be so inspiring, and yet on the other hand, he really can bring about counterproductive results. Van der Haar, normally a lovely kick, and this is a beauty, curling back and right through for his second. Merritt's kick 2, and that's the Dons total. 4-4 plays 4-6, and the margin back to 2 points.
And it's interesting, all their goals kicked by their key forwards in Paul Van der Haar and Roger Merritt. And that's the beautiful thing about Paul Van der Haar. He's such a long kick. If he gets his hands on the ball, he can score anyway from 50 to 60 metres out.
Yes, number 18, the Flying Dutchman. He's been an exciting player in league football. Steins goes up. Salmon with the ball. Good hand pass into open territory. Roger Merritt with strength is followed by Spalding. Stretch loses the run of it. And the free kick is going to go to Merritt. No, advantage rule played, and downfield it goes. And it's kicked through.
I think the Melbourne players waited then, Doug. Clark seized the opportunity, felt that the umpire would pay the advantage rule, and he just kept going, and the Melbourne players, I'm certain, waited for that free kick to be paid.
And I think it was Izzard who picked it up eventually. There he is.
Stephen Clark.
No, Stephen Clark. There's Izzard behind us. Well, that was an unlucky one for Melbourne. The advantage rule can be cruel.
And you can see Melbourne players then looking over their shoulder, Doug, waiting for the umpire to bring the ball back.
So a quarter which started promisingly for Melbourne suddenly turns, and the Dons are back in front by 4 points at the 5-minute mark. Costly errors from Melbourne, first by Wilson, and then a group defensive error. Now Grinter puts them into attack, but can't pass Duckworth. The wall. Back to half forward for Essendon. Spalding looking to atone for the mistake a moment ago. It wasn't just his, it was a group thing. Delivers beautifully. Sparks. But Essendon's tackling is strong. Lyon scrambling the kick 25 metres. Bad bounce for Giles. Walsh. Williams. Salmon from behind the centre. Lovely pass. Francis. Oh, bad miss. Did well to win it back. Danaher. Baker. Lovely sidestep. The Dons really lifting now. Merritt the Colossus. Well dispossessed. Batterston for Melbourne. Open-hander, I thought. No free kick. Wilson to half forward. And Dean is 60 metres out. too far to score, but he's got a good lead and delivers nicely. Coop it is, just inside 50 metres, but a long, difficult shot. But a chance.
He's been impressive all night, Dean. He's very mobile and he has continued to play in front. We saw Doug Coop up at Carrara kick 3 lovely goals. He's a very good kick for goal, and I would expect him to kick this.
From about 53 metres, it's a lovely kick, just fading for a behind. The margin 7 points, 3 points rather. Melbourne 7th behind, margin 3 points at the 6.5 minute mark.
Foles taps it across to himself, goes for a run. Pursued by Wight, doesn't gain much distance. Clark with it, tackled. Nice pick up by Duckworth. Duckworth out to merit his great football, and Spalding, you've got to stay with him. He's the most dangerous man here tonight with Terry Danaher. On to Francis. Francis out to Izard is beautiful, and that's where it all started when Spalding let him go. And Izard kicks it long, but over the top of Jarrett it goes, and it's over the line out of bounds. But Earl Spalding looks so casual at times, and he just can't afford to let Roger Merritt have 10 to 15 metres.
Bombers deep in attack. Steins unopposed this time, and could have made more of that.
Well, he actually hit it the wrong way too. He hit it towards the opposition goals. He should have been hitting it back towards the boundary line, back along the member side flank.
This time he's got Merritt to beat. And Danaher, great play by the captain. That's the stuff to lift the team. And whereas the first 2 goals of the quarter for Essendon came from mistakes, that was earned. And Danaher puts his team 9 points in front.
Well, he's had 10 possessions so far, Tim. That's magnificent play. You often see a lot of great players come over the top of the pack from those boundary throw-ins, and your team, or your opponent, Danaher's opponent, must stand in between him and the ball. It's fantastic play by Danaher, and the Bombers now have kicked 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of this quarter.
Melbourne have got their best defender in Stephen Stretch on him, but Stretch is really a half-back flanker.
Too small.
Here comes Sparks again. Looking very promising, Sparks. Dean the winner. Oh, he should have held that one. Follows on well. Good hand pass. Sparks has got to go for it. Ryan it is. Ryan downfield. Up they go, and Wight hits it down, and wonderful pace by Williams. Takes it over the boundary line out of bounds. And he outpaced 2 Melbourne players, did Daisy Williams that time.
You said it all then, Doug. Fitch had the opportunity, but he lacked that yard.
Walsh preparing to come on for the Dons. Melbourne deep in attack and badly needing a goal. Dean hemmed in, well pressured. Fine smothering by Hurd. And another throw in a little bit further from goal. In fact, it's out beyond the 50-metre line. And now Essendon for the first time with a goal and a half break. Salmon controlling the air. Baker back towards the centre line. Spalding up with one hand. Merritt pushed by Wilson. No free kick. Grinter. Clark the tackler. Now Stephen Clark, who kicked the first Essendon goal of the quarter, but takes it over. Throw in just Essendon's attacking side of the wing.
Well, the small brigade haven't really been that prominent. Izard's looked pretty good in the forward on occasion, but Clark hasn't done a lot. I thought they might run the Melbourne defence off their feet in these conditions tonight. Ted Fitch caught. Look at the big fellow in the middle of the tough stuff all the time. Out to Bailey. Bailey kicks it downfield, and Grinter takes the mark. He's on half-back flank, grandstand side. Doesn't quite know where to give it. Kicks it, nice long one, looking there for Steins. Steins is out pointed by Salmon. Strong play Walsh, kicking in danger. And the free kick will go to the Demons.
Well, the Melbourne crowd incensed, feeling that there should have been an advantage situation there. Kicking in danger decision invoked, and then the umpire stopping play even though Melbourne came away with the ball.
Which after Melbourne lost a goal just a minute ago through an advantage rule which they didn't play, which they didn't take any notice of. I guess they've got some reason feeling unhappy.
Coop from the wing to half forward, Salmon under it in good shape. Well played though by Steins to get it to ground. Johnson Hasn't done a lot back after injury. All Melbourne out here. They've got the numbers. Ryan perhaps went the wrong way and the long way. Johnson to full forward. Wight, and beautifully rowed by Steins. Giles open goal. And the Demons hit back. They desperately needed that. The margin back to 3 points.
Well, that certainly now is going to lift Melbourne, because Essendon has been on top in this third quarter. But there's a lesson. There's a guy who's 6'6", waiting down at the foot of the pack, took it off the pack, beautifully got it across there to Giles, and that's something that the Melbourne small men have got to do. Get to the foot of the pack and pick up the crumbs.
And what a lesson it was, Kev, because let's not forget that he was recruited from Ireland and he's only played about 3 years football. So
maybe he's a rover, not a ruckman.
Super hand pass, well done. And there he is at centre bounce, coming in to take on Paul Salmon, 6'9" of Paul Salmon. A daunting task, and Salmon wins another one. Picked up by Bailey. Bailey to open territory. Wonderful post by Isa, but overruns it. The Flying Dutchman. Quick hand pass. Clark tries to kick off the ground and misses it. And then it stacks on the mill, and the ball will be bounced as Jarrett has a little scuffle with a disinterested Paul Vanderhaar.
12.5 minutes gone. Essendon 40, Melbourne 37. Merritt beats Steins. Another ball up. And the Demons still full of hunger for this title. Melbourne Football Club really in the horrors since 1964. And tonight, a very big night for it. Williams did well to get his boot to ball to Danaher. Couldn't quite hold it. Thought he had his name written all over it. And finally a ball up, and a reprieve there for Melbourne, because Danaher was in great position to mark.
We've mentioned it a couple of times, Tim. From those ball-ups, you must be in front, because the kick will flop off the boot. And Danaher read it beautifully, just couldn't hold it in the greasy conditions.
Yes, he missed it. He wasn't spoiled. Here comes Baker. Baker, left foot snap across the face of goal. Johnson marks it. Whichever way it went, it was out of bounds on the full. Johnson kicks it long out to Melbourne's half-back flank, looking for Sparks. Over the back it goes. Yates and Izard having a great battle, and pushing the back against Izard.
Yates has done a great job on him all night.
He has. Out to Lyon, a tumbling mark. Couldn't hold it. Not a good pass, and it's over the line, out of bounds. Centre wing position, outer side. Duckworth and Gary Lyon having a scuffle, and Gary, I wouldn't scuffle with Billy.
Izard's only had 7 possessions, Doug, and we're halfway through the third quarter, so Yates has done a great job.
Duckworth, I'm sure, doing his best to unsettle the outstanding young Melbourne forward. Essendon's half-forward line, in fact, up towards the wing. Johnson improving in this quarter. And that's an effective kick too. Ryan, nicely done. Rinter out of defence, puts Melbourne into attack. Lovely pass. Wight. Well, it was either Wight or Dean who was bearing down. Good delivery from Wight. Great pass to Giles. Well within range, but the angle very tight. The goal would put Melbourne back in front. And it's good to see the Demons lift. When Melbourne lost the lead and slipped to a 9-point deficit, I thought perhaps it was slipping away, but now they're striking back commendably. Fine mark by Dean. Over the top of Salmon, a beauty. And there's a lesson for young players. The ball never out of play until it's actually called out.
I think Kevin Shetty will be very disappointed here, because Salmon's there in that front position. And I think, as we can see, Salmon went for the mark. And when
he's done it. Dean's second goal, and the Demons are back in front. At the 15.5-minute mark, they lead by 3 points.
I'm certain Kevin Shetty would have liked to have seen Salmon push that ball through for a point. When the ball is so close, you might as well push it through for a point.
Right over the top of him, Dean. Dean's very deceptive. He's 6'3", as you can see, standing there beside Winton, who's got plenty of height, but let's not forget, of course, that his opponent's 6'9", There it is.
But he's gone for the mark there, Doug.
Yes,
and I
he
think
did,
that's what Sheeds would be a bit upset about. 3 goals apiece in this quarter, and Dean's kicked 2. He's been very mobile on that forward line.
Salmon gets another one down. Merritt tries to take it. Bailey loses it. Spalding gets it kicked away from him. Good play, stretch, and then lost it. Picked up by the clever, elusive Baker. Out to the flank is beautiful football. Chance for flying Paul van der Haar. Long hand pass is dangerous. A wonderful interception by Spalding. A short pass out wide to Hughes. Hughes downfield and Gary Lyon late on the scene spoils. Walsh runs into 2 of them. Giles takes it away and Giles is bundled over the line from a very strong tackle from Hurd. Very good football from both sides.
And can't you sense the Demons lifting? Kicked the last 2 to regain the lead. 16 and a half minutes third term. Salmon to Izzard. Now Francis. Johnson in pursuit, and Johnson getting on top on that wing. Copped it high. No free kick though. Hurd goes backwards to Salmon. Big fellow took the risk and came unglued. And Coop gets a free kick for a high tackle. And Alan Johnson, back after injury, is down, and he certainly should have got a free kick then.
Well, Nick Walsh really ran straight at him and hit him high in the head.
Coop to half forward, well delivered. Wight couldn't hold it, no free kick either. Still a chance for Melbourne, but now a ball up on their half forward line.
Well, I reckon there's a free there.
There was a push there, Doug. There was desperation by Essendon then because they really felt Wight was going to take the mark, so they gave away the professional free, but it wasn't paid.
That was bad luck on the 50-metre line. Gary Lyon fights for it, diving around his fidge. Hooked back down towards the goal square and Dean's underneath it. Sean White too. After it goes Winton, handles it badly and will lose it, and lost a wonderful opportunity, and the Demons are still in attack and they lead by 3 points.
3 Essendon players there to Melbourne 1. Lack of talking because Walsh certainly should have picked that ball up. Folds there.
Steins. Now Duckworth, high tackle and a free kick. I don't think they're too careful where they tackle Billy Duckworth when he gets the ball. And I don't think Billy's too fussed about where they make contact either, because he's been through the mill plenty of times. Tough as old boots. Another one to come back after dreaded knee reconstruction. And come back he has. Wobbly old punt, not a good one. Fidge did well to get boot to ball. And a chance for the Demons still, but not now. Thompson, quiet tonight. Back to the centre line. Winter the spoiler. Danaher running onto it. Landed just inside. And over for a throw-in on Essendon's half-forward flank.
Great play by Winton at full-back. He really did attack the ball there, and he took the risk, but he got his hands right over the top of it and was able to keep it to the ground. It was very courageous play, and it came off for Essendon.
Well, it's desire and perseverance that's keeping Melbourne in it. They're doing wonderfully well. Steins and Merritt wins it. Out to Williams. Williams down towards the pocket, but hooks it too far, and the free kick will go to Daniel Hughes, a man from Port Adelaide. And what a great acquisition he's been to Melbourne. He's won a best and fairest for them a couple of years ago. Up goes Steins and a good mark. Good strong mark, playing a fine third term is Jim Steins. Kicks it across, an awkward one for Yates. Late on the scene was Roger. All over him he went, pummeled him into the ground. But if you play against Roger Merritt, you'll always feel it. And Yates really feels that one. Downfield they come. Giles 2-1 against him. He pushed Salmon out. And the free kick will go to Salmon.
It's causing a lot of problems just hovering across that half-back line. Essendon are very fortunate because they've got Merritt doing the ruck work up on the forward line, and Big Salmon can just hang back across that half-back line.
Put Hurd under pressure, but Hurd did well to get it to Thompson. Sparks takes it away from Hurd. Now Wilson. Caught again. White, held when not in possession, gets the free kick. Outside 50 metres. Not much to go to. Giles! Tremendous mark. I thought Walsh had him covered.
Used his body well, Tim.
He certainly did. He took back position, wanted the kick long. It was well placed by Wight. He held Walsh at bay with the hip. And now, with the Demons leading by 3 points from point-blank range. Words fail me.
A backman's kick.
What a golden opportunity missed, because it was a very intelligent mark. We didn't quite see it on the replay, but he stood his ground, able to hip out and take that mark falling backwards. It was a very, very good mark.
Well done by Wight too, to play on so quickly and get the ball downfield and make it one-on-one. Peter Francis, the wandering nomad, kicks it down towards centre wing position, always looking for Danaher. Up above him went Nick Walsh. Bad football from the youngster. Duckworth comes through very strongly. Always eyes on the ball, William Duckworth. And he's held it too long, said the umpire. Well, that was dynamite. And Gary Lyon will be delighted to take this free kick. They've been battling all night, and Duckworth has kept this talented teenager out of the game. Melbourne's most brilliant player, as only having his 4th kick, kicks it short, gains about 15 metres to Ted Finch.
And a good result, because instead of Lyon having the ball 65 metres out, Finch has got it at the 50-metre line, and he can kick long, and he can do it.
Yes, he's a good kick, Ted Finch. But let's see whether he can. Peter Giles missing a very easy one after taking a splendid strength mark. The score is Melbourne 6-4. Melbourne 6-8 to 6-4. Look at that thundering kick, but it's well off direction, and it's out of bounds on the full, and Melbourne's wandering opportunities.
Let's go down to Ian Robertson.
A bad loss for Melbourne. Tim, Alan Johnson with crook ribs has come off the ground, and he was certainly playing well. It doesn't look too good for the Demons.
The Demons and Alan Johnson having absolutely no luck with injuries. Giles a hurried kick. Still might give Lyon a chance. Good hand pass to Grinter. It was a beauty. From 60 metres out to Dean, who's within range. He'll kick from 35 metres out. He's kicked 2. His tail up around the sticks, no doubt. Feeling confident about kicking for goal. 10th kick. He's done it. Great goal. The Demons lead by 10 points at the 23-minute mark. And that long-awaited premiership, while not Melbourne's yet, is within grasp.
Well, that's his 3rd goal for the quarter. That was a very sharp hand pass. Then coming across from line to Grinter. That was a beautiful kick, and taken out in front with the hands too there by Warren Dean. He's really been a focal point down there. 3 goals this quarter, and Winton has been caught behind him all night.
Here they go again, and Salmon wins yet another one. Elshaw, in all the trouble in the world, backs into trouble. Held it too long. Walsh is trying to convince the umpire it was around the neck. The umpire takes no notice at all. And here comes Batto. Adrian Batterston kicks it out. Sean White, up he goes. And it could have been paid.
Oh, great mark.
Oh, he's looking good. He's given them a target all the time, all the match. Short pass, all dangerous, but they made it. And they had to crawl after it that time, did Sparks. But like the last one, there it is. Oh, he looks good. He really is a fearless leaper. And he's kicked the ball well. He's played on it at the right time. And a very fine game from Sean White. And now let's see what young Brad Sparks can do. From the 50-metre mark, kicks it high and kicks it long, and it's a beauty. Oh, missed. I'll have to stop Barry.
An 11-point lead to the Demons. 25 minutes gone, 3rd term, and it's been their quarter. Winton to the outer side. Fidge, well played from 55 metres. Centres. Steins, plenty to beat. And away go the Dons through Duckworth. Walsh has been shifted up to half forward. Grinter's hand pass unstuck. Stephen Clark. Oh, it's one-on-one here and no one else there. An open goal for Van der Haar. He could have picked it up. Hughes off the ground. Now Grinter. And Melbourne somehow off the hook. And my word, a huge collective sigh of relief from about 15,000 Melbourne fans as Paul van der Haar didn't realise how much space he had.
No, that's where Kevin Sheedy would have wanted Ezard to be right alongside Paul van der Haar to talk to him, to tell him he was clear, but he was too far away.
Stein's in front again. Half it goes Nicholas Walsh over the line.
Actually, Melbourne have rattled Essendon this quarter. They have tackled extremely hard. They've moved the ball very, very quickly. And we've noticed a couple of Essendon players get caught out of position.
Walsh again and a free kick against him. The advantage rule is played and Bailey gets it out wide. Oh, an erratic run for Stretch. He's got to go again. There's a teammate there to help him in Sparks. And Sparks out wide, Giles. Marks again.
Beautifully taken against Danaher, the Essendon skipper. Much too far out to score. Kicks to within 30 metres of goal. Now Dean, really dangerous up forward. Cooper, big air swing. Dean again, up and down on the one spot. Wight gets under it for Melbourne. Flick to the back. Thompson and the Dons work their way clear to Elshaw from half back. Beyond the wing. And fisted on further. Spalding versus Walsh now. Well done Walsh, but well done Spalding to make the tackle. Salmon good shepherding. Still Walsh. And a good kick. And it eludes van der Haar, and things not going right for the Bombers. If the bounce had sat up, van der Haar may have been able to run onto it and kick an easy goal.
And Spalding's limping. Essendon in attack. Good leap from behind by Wilson over Salmon. Footed down by Coop, doesn't go far. A nice bit of shepherding that time, but couldn't do anything for the Demons, and it trickles over the line out of bounds. There's number 21 is Nicholas Walsh, and 48 is Peter Ryan.
28 minutes gone. 7 goals kicked in the quarter. 4 by Melbourne, 3 by the Dons. Williams did well. Too far for Ezard. Hughes the big thump. Batterston, the double-hander, straight to the line. Throw in, says the umpire. Sheedy ready to speak to his players at three-quarter time. The Bombers looking down the barrel, surprisingly trailing by 11 points close to time.
And Walsh gets it down. Hit away by Nicholas Walsh. Well played, Jarrett, out to Bailey. Bailey, who played particularly well until he had to go off the ground injured, kicks it out wide, and Stephen Stretcher's got the run. Picks it up on one bite and does it well. Dodges cleverly, dodges another one, sends it long downfield. There's nobody at home for the Demons. The mark could have been awarded to Danaher. Free kick will be awarded to Terry. Roger Merritt goes on. The advantage rule is played. Merritt kicks it down towards centre half forward, over the back of the pack. Coming through is van der Haar, out to Kevin Walsh. Kevin Walsh steadies, 15 metres out and shoots for goal. And he's made it. And what a thriller it is. 5 points the difference, with the Demons in front 7-9 to 7-4.
Well, Danaher is a marvellous player. He played extremely well on the forward line in the first half. Now Sheedy's put him down into defence. And he started that attack there. And Walsh, this is a great goal. He took his time, watched the ball onto the boot, and made certain of it, because it was a badly needed one at the 29-minute mark.
Very important goal in this match. If the Demons have been able to go to three-quarter time with an 11-point advantage, they really could have faced the last term with that much more confidence, but now just a kick in it. Merritt and Steins full of courage and determination. Baker, Essendon looking for one to put them in front at the change. Clark, Stephen Clark, a long way up ground. Walsh again, who's been effective since moving to half forward. Ezard, now Elshaw, and the Dons surge forward again. Yates and Salmon, and there's the siren. And at three-quarter time, Melbourne leading by 5 points. And still, there's this National Panasonic Cup final hang in the balance with one term remaining. Melbourne kicking 4 goals, 3 in that term. And the Dons very accurate, kicking 4 straight, and in fact they haven't kicked a behind since quarter time. They were 1-4 at quarter time, they're now 7-4. They've since kicked 6 straight. Major goal kicker for Melbourne, Dean with 3. Giles has 2, 1 each to Bailey and Wight. For Essendon, 2 each to Merritt and Van der Haar. Singles to Terry Danaher, Stephen Clark and Kevin Walsh. And at 3/4 time, it's Melbourne 7-9-51 to Essendon 7-4-46. On and the umpire hasn't heard it. So confusion reigns. There it is, and the timer will restart.
And interesting, Merritt's in the ruck and Salmon's at full forward.
So the last quarter gets underway, and Merritt wins at the ruck, but is quickly dispossessed. And another ball up will result.
Well, it is strong, that Roger Merritt. He just came in and he brought the ball down with him, took the bump, rode away with the ball, just couldn't break away with it. But an interesting move, Salmon at full forward, who's played so well on the ball. Merritt on the ball now. Stein's up against him. Elshaw hooks it up in the air, gains about 20 metres. Underneath it, Jarrett, but he's outmarked nicely by Nicholas Walsh. Walsh then out wide deep, Foles and left foot to Salmon. It's a beauty. A lovely pass, and what a great lead by Paul Salmon.
And 15 metres, Douglas, and that is a very costly one. Brings him from 50 to 35 from goal.
Here it is. Who went into it? Might have been young Peter Ryan, was it?
Ryan or Campbell?
Well, Paul Salmon, who, as Kevin Barton said earlier, if he had his way, he'd love to see him be able to play at full forward. And he looks, when he plays well, almost invincible at full forward with his enormous height of 6'9". As you saw that time, he leads so well. This is 11th possession, his 5th mark. And when Simon Madden comes into the team, there's a big chance that he'll play a lot of his time at full forward. Oh, he kicks it, he hooked it a bit. He hooked it too much, it's one behind, and the Demons are still in front. They're in front by 4 points, 7-9 to 7-5 in a magnificent night final, a night grand final.
Bad miss from Salmon. He takes an eternity at times to line up those shots. He is quite meticulous. Should have kicked that.
Often when you play in the ruck, Tim, you don't do the goal kicking practice that you should.
Melbourne out of trouble, just for the moment anyway. Wilson over the line, but on the bounce. So a throw in between wing and Essendon's half forward flank. 2 minutes down in the quarter. Melbourne 4-point leaders, and about 28 minutes remaining in this grand final. Fidge. Oh, let go of the ball. Lucky not to be penalised. Walsh for Essendon. Now Elshaw. The pursuer Spalding, but well shepherded as Elshaw. Salmon again? Yeah, no. Still a chance. Baker. Bad hand pass. Jarrett. Bailey. And again, Melbourne fans breathe easy, but perhaps not for long. Williams. Van der Haar a long way up ground. Too far out from goal to score. He'll kick from more than 60 metres out. But Essendon doing all the attacking in the opening minutes of the quarter.
And Earl Spalding really lined up Daisy Williams then as he hand passed, and he got a hard knock to the head.
He hasn't got a trot left in him either, Kevin. I noticed Spalding. The free
it's a
kick is
Melbourne
going
free
to
kick.
Peter Ryan here.
Well, I wouldn't have paid that free kick to Melbourne, because it was Spalding who came in at Daisy Williams, who really only tried to protect himself. It was unfortunate for Spalding, but it was his own fault.
It was a super kick of Spalding's. An absolutely great kick, and the free kick is going to go to the Demons. Waiting for Brian Wilson to come back and take it. There's Roger Merritt going up, and I don't know where that free kick was out of our sight. Wilson kicks it downfield. Over the back, the chances there for Bailey. Taken away by the elusive Dean. Hooks it back for his 4th goal. It's a magnificent kick. It's an absolute beauty.
Oh!
Well, it looked to be through from here, didn't
My
it?
word, it did.
It looked to be through.
Well, looking through the binoculars, I reckon that was a goal.
Melbourne by 5 points, has a behind, is registered. Izzard well tackled. Thompson well tackled. But the Bombers out of trouble. Winton to Elshaw from the wing. Centering kick is a good one to Walsh. Kevin Walsh on the centre line. To half forward, but it's all Melbourne. A badly placed kick, and Yates hangs on for dear life at half back. And the Demons have to grin and bear it after apparently being robbed of the goal. Goal umpire much closer than us and even closer than our camera. Dangerous kick from Yates. Ball still in play. Elshaw now from half forward. Will go long for Salmon. He's got the sit. He's penalised for a push. He pushed Hughes out. And Danny Hughes takes the free and runs on.
Oh, lucky Demons. Up goes Walsh above Spalding. A chance for Sparks. Back to the centre of the ground. There's nobody at home coming to meet at Duckworth. Out wide and Bailey comes through strongly. And Wilson beat the ball and then was tackled by Bailey. He is too slow with his hand passing. Wonderful skill to get the ball and courage, but time and time again, very, very slow getting rid of the ball, particularly in the hand passing area. Out wide it goes to Thompson. Thompson then drives it wide towards Elshaw, and it was missed and should have been taken by Ryan. Ryan quickly back to Yates. Yates hooks it down towards centre wing position. Thompson mishandles, still got time to recover. Tackled by Sparks. Underneath it, it's all Melbourne, and the mark is taken by Steins.
And the big fellow, not quite sure what to do, eventually sinks the boot as hard as he can to half forward. Duckworth at the back. High tackle, but plays on anyway. To half forward, Jarrett from behind for Melbourne. Nick Walsh for Essendon. And a chance for the Bombers. Another paddle on from Walsh. Strong tackling though from the ferocious Demons, who at the 6-minute mark lead by 5 points and have their sights set on this grand final. The head put down into that tackle.
Tremendous courage by Danaher too, running with the flight of the ball there. He took every risk in the book.
Good play from a very weary Spalding too. Here comes Daisy Williams. Gets through the pack and then he's tackled and can't get his kick. An opportunity for Bailey, the strong chunky one, and he did the right thing. He did the right thing. He didn't have a paddle left in him and just pushed it over the line, and it's out of bounds. The Bombers are in attack and they trail by 5 points.
It's a great desperate tackle by Batterson. He lacks the pace of Williams, but he really gritted his teeth.
7 minutes gone. Jarrett, the old stager, takes it over the line. Alan Jarrett, who's done duty for North Melbourne, and he served Melbourne pretty well in latter years, and he's a man who deserves something to celebrate tonight. Folds up in attack now. Grinter on top of it and gets a free kick. Surprises me.
Yes, me too, Tim. Grinter's played an excellent game, and we'll look at that kick over to Wilson. Wilson on quick, and a lovely kick to Giles. Bit too wide. Giles keeps on going. He's in lots of trouble on the boundary line there. Picked up by Dean, and Dean ran over the line with it. The umpire let it go. Down to the full forward zone it goes, and there's Peter Francis taken away from him. Coming in very strongly is Elshaw, and Elshaw will get them out of danger. Hand passes across. Look out, Ezard gets it cleverly to Foles. Foles steadies and kicks it out wide, looking for Nicholas Walsh. Up goes Yates, and then Walsh takes a good mark.
Beauty. 15 metres as well. Ball knocked away from him. Goes long towards Salmon, who comes from the back. Oh, good mark. And a chip over the top to Williams. Open goal. The Bombers are in front by a point at the 8-minute mark. Great play by Salmon. A fine mark out at the 50-metre line, and very quick thinking.
That's his third mark for the quarter, Tim, and he does look very, very dangerous. The first 3 quarters he played magnificently in the ruck. His confidence is high. It's a good move of Sheedy to put him down there at full forward. And of course the strong man Roger Merritt in the ruck in the centre of the ground.
Yes, it looks like an inspired move at this stage, Kev, doesn't it?
Now it's a big test for the Demons. Can they come back?
Steins hits it down the Demons' way. Batterston was the little man who came in and bumped very strongly, and then a sack of 4 or 5 players. There's Alan Johnson waiting to come on the field. He's been missed sadly with his great skills, and looks as if he's ready again. Took a very heavy bump in the head from Nicholas Walsh. In comes a bounce. Steins won it. Taken by Bailey. Over the back it goes to Coop. Walsh kicks it off the ground. Elshaw hits it further. Yates intercepts. Good hand pass out to Jarrett. Jarrett, a short one out wide towards Ryan. Ryan on, and it's good. Look out, Wilson, you're caught again. He battles for it, and he takes the free kick, I think.
He's lucky.
He was lucky, Tim, I agree. Very lucky. Free kick for Brian Wilson.
It was the wrong player to take the hand pass. He had to turn and head in the reverse direction. Fidge from half forward kicks long towards the pocket. Now Giles. Francis for Essendon. Nicely done under pressure. And then supports Merritt, who was in trouble. And Francis gets out of trouble, but oh, great smother by Bailey. Well done, Sparks. Now Izzard. Even the Bombers making mistakes. And they're old stages in these situations. And eventually it's an Essendon free kick as Jarrett leaves the field. Thompson takes the free for the Dons at half-back. Winton under pressure. Williams.
And Williams half-back flank. Out to Winton is dangerous. Very dangerous. Johnson gets it in. Melbourne swing to attack. Out it goes to Bailey. Bailey's hand pass is bad. And coming through like a train is Merritt. Oh, fire and brimstone. And look out, here I come, said Merritt. And through he went with ferocious intent.
He's a great competitor, Roger Merritt. Took on 3 Melbourne players then.
Approaching the 11-minute mark. The Bombers by a point. Folds, but straight to Wilson, who finessed beautifully that time. Oh, he was almost going to try and beat the paddock again. Bailey inside to Lyon. Beyond half forward. Hurd. And a ball up. That's where the Demons want it. Just 40 metres from goal. It's one kick out. And they need a behind to level the scores, a goal to be back in front.
And there's 11 minutes gone in the final turn. Merritt striving valiantly. Dean, the danger man, kicks it across the ground. Underneath it, it's all... Oh, good mark! I thought that was Ryan's. 2-1 against him. Over the top. Walsh could have taken a free that time. Elshaw fights for it. Baker been very quiet, has got an opportunity. Fumbles, runs into trouble. He's beautifully shepherded by Danaher. Turns out of danger. Left foot's it downfield, and Nicholas Walsh has the chance. And Melbourne fight absolutely desperately. Brinton loses the run of it. Kicked off the ground. Unluckily, it goes back from an accidental one. Izzard kicks it off the ground, and Stephen Stretch comes at it. Nobby Clark is with it. Clark steadies and kicks it downfield. Underneath it is Grinter, and the ball is through for one behind. And what a thriller. What an absolute thriller it is, and there's 2 points the difference.
12 minutes gone. Heaps of time yet. Now Hughes, uncertain. It's a lead in short. He's got 2 men straight down the ground, but dared not try the chip pass. It was probably the manoeuvre, but not the moment. Yates can run, and now can hand pass inside to the big fellow Steins from the centre line. Melbourne moving it well. Fidge dispossessed. Throw in the end result. Essendon supporters appealing for holding the ball. In fact, the ball slipped out of Fidge's hands. And so the throw in.
In front, Kevin Walsh. Out to Baker. Baker tackled by Steins. Kevin Walsh off the ground. Across to open territory. Lovely bounce for Sparks. Gets away. Caught by good tackle. Goes again, and Shane Hurd's there. Clever play, Hurd to Winton. Winton fumbles, and that's enough to be caught. Hooks it back towards centre wing. In front, fine mark taken by Spalding.
Well, the Demons really hanging in there. Trailing by 2 points, but they've never let the Bombers get on top of them. Never been intimidated. And they're still attacking, looking for that goal to grab the lead again. 6 kicks only to Spalding. It's a wobbly old punt to full forward. Philippa Dean. Oh, Giles almost the chance, with the Bombers there in numbers and forcing a ball up. Pretty hard to kick a goal out of that situation.
Well, they've got a chance here from this ball up, Tim. Only 15 metres out. This is where every Melbourne player's got to be really desperate here.
Yes, you never know. There's one kick off the ground might make it. Steins could have got a free against Merritt. Picked up by Foles. Clever to Winton. It's smothered there nicely by Giles. Dean again. Hand passes danger. Picked up by Batterston. Runs into her. The ball was held to him. And Baker's appealing to the umpire. The umpire's immune.
Not quite certain why Dean hand passed that dunk. He must have been able to see Patterson was completely surrounded.
He was in trouble, wasn't
He
he?
should have just kicked it back towards the goal square.
Melbourne deep in attack. Well played, Merritt. Fidge. Now a throw in. Melbourne's half-forward flank. 14 and a half minutes gone. The Demons trailing by 2 points. Thrilling grand final. Steins in front. Seemed to get the knock, but straight to Williams it went, perhaps with Merritt's help. Now Folds. Back towards the centre line. Walsh front position, stretched the flyer at the back. Wilson looking where he was going before he picked it up, pushed in the back and takes a free, much to Van der Haar's frustration, and will put Melbourne back into attack from the wing.
An absolutely fearless player is Brian Wilson, out to stretch. Down to centre half forward it goes. A punch there by Salmon. Picked up and there goes Ryan. It's down towards the teeth of Melbourne's goal. An awkward bounce. Wight, Sean Wight gets it out to Dean, or is it Johnson? Kicked away by Duckworth. Duckworth follows on. He's well shepherded by Danaher. And Billy Duckworth is going to get the Bombers out of trouble. Left foots it down, looking for Kevin Walsh. Up above him went Danny Hughes, and the ball is over the line. And well played Essendon, in particular Duckworth and Danaher.
Well, great shepherding by Danaher. That enabled Duckworth to carry that ball some 40 and 50 metres.
The ever-reliable showing their colours. Walsh beats Steins. Grinter. Back to the centre line. There's nothing there for Melbourne. Salmon. Nice mobility then from the big man. Into half forward. Stretch the big thump. Folds in midfield. Puts the Dons back into attack, but they've got nothing up forward. 2-on-1 in Melbourne's favour. They should win the exchange, but Coop can only take it over the line. Well contested it was by Nick Walsh, enabling the Bombers to keep it deep in attack.
And Merritt, who's now at full forward, comes out to contest with Steins. Up goes Giles and thumps it 20 metres Melbourne's way. Kick off the ground. Unluckily went to Nick Walsh. Nick Walsh puts them into attack again. Up they go. Oh, bad miss by Izzard. And here's an opportunity for Melbourne through Ryan. There's only Hurd out there, and Alan Johnson is 25 metres behind him. Hurd picks it up, runs away, will boot them back into attack right down to where Danny Hughes and Steins are there. Steins misses what he should have taken. A brilliant smother by Yates. Steins fights for it again, picked up there and legged with Sprinter, and will take a free kick.
And he's played a great game too, Sprinter. He's close to being best man on the ground.
And great effort by Steins, who missed the mark but really fought on at ground level. Chance for the Demons still. Sparks held, pushed, takes a free kick. Batterston wants to take it away, and the umpire lets him do so. Wide to half forward. Giles would have loved to have played on but couldn't. Gets a lead from Wight, delivers beautifully. Wight just outside 50 metres.
Should kick to the square here.
Goes short and badly, but it might work yet. Fidge. Hurd takes it away for the Dons. Folds. Danaher. And once again, the old reliables come to the fore. Hurd back to Danaher. Good stuff by the Essendon defence, but it's all Melbourne here in midfield. And the Demons with 3-on-1 surely will do something.
Yes, they do. Shepherding and then stretch, the best kick of the lot. Boots it downfield, and Terry Danaher again gets an awkward one. Puts it back into play, and it's Melbourne's opportunity now. It's driven by Batterston to the goal square. Underneath it from back Fidge. Oh, he almost held it long enough. It'll be taken through by Duckworth. It's not taken through. He wanders away, and Fidge so nearly took that mark, and the Bombers are out of trouble at the half-back flank. What a thriller.
There was no mark.
Now Williams from half-back for Kevin Walsh. Melbourne getting there in numbers, but this time it's taken away from them. And in fact, a free kick.
Bad tackle.
To Dean Bailey. Now Williams to half forward. Not much there for Essendon. Well done, Hughes, who went for the line quite deliberately. The umpires have ignored that all night. Fidge injured in that exchange up in attack. He must be feeling so frustrated that he couldn't hang on to that mark.
Just another half a second did he need to. Down from Steins and Walsh. Well played this time by Sparks. Oh, and a big leap from behind by Salmon, who's been absolutely brilliant. Out to Foles, who kicks the ball very well. Onto his left foot and hooks it back. Underneath it, Steins. Van der Haar beat him to it. Steins then contests well. Van der Haar underneath it all is also fighting valiantly, and the umpire will bounce it.
Still plenty of time, 20 minutes gone. The Demons 5-point losers on Sunday at Carrara, trailing by 2 points. In this grand final, Williams long towards goal. Curling off direction. Well played, Johnson. Oh, he's done very well, straight down the middle. And good delivery, Yates. 3 Melbourne players there, that's a good hand pass. Wilson, further to Grinter. Melbourne mount the attack from the centre line. He goes wide. Well played, Winton. And well played, Lyon, for a throw-in on Melbourne's half-forward flank.
Well, he certainly has been superb across that half-back line, Grinter. That kick up there, Dean, then. Dean sort of didn't actually attack the ball. He was trying to just hip his opponent out. He should have actually attacked the ball and went for the mark.
And Thompson out wide. Shane Hurd. Beautifully to Williams, centre wing. Williams back to the half-forward line. Steins in front. Nick Walsh from behind. Recovering best is Melbourne. Spalding gets a hand pass, it's danger. Steins over, well played Ryan, back to Spalding. Spalding better hurry. Gets his kick eventually. Out wide it goes, and where's the chance now for Bailey? Frustrated by the brilliant Danaher, but Ryan misses it. It goes through his legs. Terry Danaher legs him. The free should go to Ryan, and it will.
Good
and
decision.
Terry is furious with himself, but he definitely legged him, and the free kick goes to Ryan.
21 minutes gone.
Essendon were in front by 1 point at the 8-minute mark and 1 point now at the 21-minute mark.
Ryan long, very long, beyond half forward. Wight in front. No rovers there for the Dons. Push in the back by Johnson. Salmon's free kick at half back. And Melbourne's every attempt to regain the lead frustrated. 10 kicks to Salmon. Out to Kevin Walsh, who's got a bit of time. And a man there in supporting Winton. To Merritt at the 22-minute mark. 54 plays 52. The Bombers in front by 2 points. 26,000 people at VFL Park. I'd say 20,000 perhaps barracking for Melbourne, the underdogs. And they're giving a great sight. Johnson wide. Bailey with space. Long to full forward. Wight in front. Scouting the pack though, Hurd. Pressure, pressure, chance for the Demons still. Throw in the forward pocket. Oh, it was a chance for Peter Keel, the fresh man on the ground, to grab it cleanly with the one bite. He failed to do that, and the opportunity was gone.
And both teams have been absolutely magnificent the way they've contested, and here's a great player in Salmon. Sean White up to him. Keel is tackled late. Duckworth a rock in defence, and there's another rock in. Danaher kicks to the boundary line ever so cleverly. Ever so clever was Terry that time. It's out of bounds, but the Demons are still in attack. They're trailing by 2 points only. 8-6 Essendon, 7-10 to Melbourne.
Only one goal kicked in the quarter. It could be the decisive one, kicked by the Bombers. There won't be a lot of time on. Now Johnson, good centering kick to within 20 metres. Almost a mark to Giles. And now a ball up just a kick's distance from goal. And even a behind would be handy, Kev, for Melbourne. If they could kick 2 behinds, they've tied the scores.
Yes, well, they're still in this game, Tim. They've been magnificent in the last 5 minutes. They've had the ball up in their forward line, but they just can't score. But from these ball-ups, this is where a quick kick out of the pack can get it for them.
Wilson out wide to Giles. He's got a good run. Danaher tackles him. Giles to the ground. Back it comes. A left foot snapped.
Bailey.
And it's through. It's Bret Bailey. He's kicked one sensational goal, and that's another one. And the stand has erupted. The Demons have taken the lead. They batted the ball up forward. Giles went to the ground. Here it comes. Giles out to Bailey.
That was great play there by Giles. He scooped it out. Bailey on the left boot. That's his second great goal for the game, and he's played a tremendous game. And look at the excitement. Now, can Melbourne hang on?
Beyond the 24-minute mark as play restarts. Melbourne in front by 4 points. The Demons have their claws around it, and they don't want to let it slip now. We're 30 seconds away from time on, and there might only be about a minute and a half or 2 minutes of time on.
Well, Danaher and Duckworth have repelled attack after attack. Whether they can keep doing it remains to be seen.
Elshaw puts the Dons into attack. Tremendous courage from Stretch. Waiting under a hospital ball. Play on is the call now. And he does it well, but kicks towards the line, and it's out on the full. So an Essendon free kick forward of the wing.
And a lovely long Foles kick it is, and Roger Merritt goes up and Hughes is there too. Well played by Bailey again. Underneath, over the line, marked on the line by Foles. This time Foles looks for Kevin Walsh, changes his mind, kicks it long. And the mark should have been taken that time by Steins, but there's some very, very weary and gallant players there. At the 25-minute mark, Melbourne leading by just 4 points.
25 and a half minutes. We better be precise, Douglas, because the seconds count now. The Dons through Clark. There's the siren. The Demons, for the first time in 16 years, have won themselves a premiership. The ground